Hello. Yes, I am sitting on my bed because I'm in the process of redoing my house, and now I don't know if I'm going to be doing the roof first or the kitchen, or trying to do both, which I doubt because a lot goes on in the summer and stuff like that. So this is kind of the best lighting, even though I haven't really done anything but put a little tiny bit of powder and lipstick on, and I did change into what I wore yesterday because I only wore a little bit. I'm going to change again in a little bit because I have to go to the dentist. So I'm not going to be watching the Dr. Phil show right when it happens. I have some notes, and I had to write notes because there's a lot that I want to go over. This will most likely be the last video I do until next week. I know that there's supposed to be the interview with him on Thursday, so that might change, but I'm thinking I'm not going to be doing all that because I'm so busy and working and everything. Unless things change like they did today, but I'm pretty sure that they're set. So, it's kind of like overcast here and cloudy, so just it's better than some people complaining that I show my dog or my flowers or my living room, which sometimes I don't feel like going on camera, so that's my prerogative. And the other thing is calling people names and coming on their channel. Then don't click on my channel and just leave. If you have nothing nice to say, then don't say anything at all. The old golden rule, right? Okay, so hopefully you guys can hear me, and I'm not just talking where you can't hear me. So, is Chris a liar? Is this still BS? Well, we know he's a liar. Could this be BS? Yes, because of multiple reasons. What is he getting out of this? What is he benefiting from doing this? Is it actually him that wanted to talk to them, or was it them that wanted to talk to him? I'll be glad to know that precisely. There's so many theories and so much to all this. So, it doesn't really make sense what he's saying now about Bella seeing it. I mean, to an extent it does, but then it doesn't really. Because, the DA said it was not a rage killing, and autopsy reports also say otherwise. So that's a little strange. And sometimes you're feeling like, is this just a story? Because things just keep coming out that get worse by the day. They get just worse all the time. I mean, I don't see the benefit of why this would be made a, like, psychops or whatever they call it, story. You know, when they're trying to do psychological warfare that some people believe. I mean, it is very odd and strange because it seems far-fetched for him to sit down and tell the kids what he thought or why he was doing it and then murder them. That seems like, you know, Jules, I don't know if you know Jules on Facebook, but I'm subscribed to her. She had said that, and I agree with that point. So I'm going to give credit to certain people. I don't mind. If you want to promote other channels, just try to like and subscribe my channel. But I try to give people credit to things, if I can remember, because most of it's my own things. But then probably a good 40% of it is like other things I've either read or heard or on other channels. So it does seem far-fetched. Too many clues. They were gone prior. That's, okay. It seems like we're all half and half with this. Some people think that he killed them first, which I do, because it would only make sense because of the time frame. And plus he thought Shanann was going to get home earlier, so that's why he did it. Now people say rigor mortis would have set in, which is true. But then I also read, and I kind of was thinking maybe the temperature of the freezer had something to do with this as well. I don't know if you've watched my other video about the chicken, but maybe it had something to do with this as well. That he put them in the bottom freezer in the basement so rigor mortis would not set in, because that would help that problem. So I'm thinking, but then the picture that he took was actually in the freezer of the refrigerator. So I'm still thinking that's to do with the chicken that he grilled. That the mistress basically gave away, but then retracted. And I don't remember exactly if it was the first interrogation of the mistress or the second interrogation, but that's what she says. Okay, and neither child had oil in their lungs, both submerged after expiration. I had read that, and I agree. Neither child had oil in their lungs, so it's really weird. My dog and Bunny are going crazy in the living room. That's mainly the reason why I didn't do it in my living room, because my living room's pretty much done. I just got to get new furniture when we redo everything. It's going to be set up different. Things like that, because I always change it around anyways every couple years. But there's a dog and a rabbit in there right now. So yes, I don't think you guys can hear him, but I can. And then also he threw up under the stairs of the tank where Bella was found. I just read that today. I've never heard about that. I heard about when he pooped, defecation or whatever, which still was in the same proximity and seems weird. Was that a message? I mean, because it is where they both worked, him and the mistress, so that's questionable to me too. Then also I read, and this is could be a good explanation as well. There's so many theories or things that could go on. Fumes coming out of the opening of the old tanks could have made him throw up. But I'm sure what he was doing in that nausea did. But all these things that he was doing there that a murderer would not usually do at the site. You threw up, you defecated, when there's porta potties that you could have went to basically almost the same proximity, so that's weird. Frank Ruzak, I think is saying their last name right, at the sentencing said, after you killed them, you carried them out like trash. I saw the tape. If they were alive, it wouldn't make sense. So it wouldn't make sense, because he stated that. It's very weird, so that's questionable. Also, why did Chris say at the sentencing, God, no, they weren't alive when put in those tanks? Actually, he didn't say that in the sentencing. I don't know why I wrote that part. I probably confusing. It was in an interrogation, I believe. So, oh God, no, they weren't alive when I put them in those tanks. Don't know. But what can you trust from someone who lies about everything? So, and first he said he strangled them. One of my subscribers, and I believe they're my subscribers, but they comment a lot, and I've liked a lot of their comments, and they've liked a lot of mine, and we've agreed. Zombie Slayer, I believe it is. He first said he strangled them. Then it's now he smothered them. It's like he doesn't even know what happened. So, no, I'm not trying to dismiss Chris Watts. No, I'm not in love with Chris Watts. Ew. But it does seem like it's just weird. You have no clue what you did. Like, you're saying all these things. It's never matched up. It's all been different. Strangled, smothered. Now Bella's was up. You did it with a sheet. Supposedly that's been the rumors. I'm not sure. We will know on the 7th. Hopefully. And then Bella was supposed to have said, "What are you doing to Mommy?" It's very awful and horrific. On a side note, I watch Molly Golightly and I'm subscribed to her and she's one of my fans. Do not leave anything negative because I will delete it. I'm not into that childish drama. But I do agree with her that it's caused anxiety and making me angrier and depression and reclusive. But at the same time, when I had my skin cancer scare, I went to the dentist in September, which I'm going to the dentist later, so they haven't seen me since then, and they reminded me of it because it was like a little tiny spot. It didn't hurt or sting. And they reminded me of it, so then I went to the doctor after that, and then I dealt with a biopsy and 2 surgeries, and it went deep, so it was rare, and we thought it was going to be bone cancer, but I got clear of all margins at the end of January. So when I was going through that, I started watching about this case, and it kind of felt at home to me because I have 2 daughters, and they're like 3 years apart, though, and one acts more like Bella, and one acts more like Cece, and it's funny because the older one acts like Bella, and the younger one acts like Cece. And it also reminded me, as I started getting into it more, reading up more, and finding out more, especially when the documents came, of certain things within my family, and things that just went on. Just leave it at that for now. So then, it didn't probably help my situation because I was worried about my situation. It rained a lot. I didn't really work a lot. I was home more. I felt like being reclusive. So that's why I'm trying to do other videos and trying to steer away from it. And ever since I got cleared, I've been working a little more. But all this has come back out. Because every time you think it's... Well, I haven't really thought it's over with all the way because I believe that the mistress was more involved, or there was accomplice, or there was more involved. Chris is not a take charge kind of guy. He gets told what to do. So for him to carry this out on his own seems weird. And yes, it does seem premeditated because of various reasons that I've stated in my other videos. Deleting the Facebook, his Facebook prior to all this. The mistress acting like she never had a Facebook, with we know is lies because that's today. Everyone's like, oh, Shanann video recorded everything she did. Well, if you video record yourself every day on YouTube, you're pretty much almost doing the same thing. That's the times we live in. So I don't know what's up with that. But it's very annoying. It's very grueling, horrific, bizarre, and morbid. And I had a bad dream last night. And I cannot remember much of it, but parts of it. And I remember, like, I believe it was my bunny finding it dead, but then it, like, flashed in my head kind of about Bella and Cece. And then there was other things that I don't even remember, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting too much into this. But I do want to discuss these things. Some of them are fact. Some of them were in autopsy results. Some of them were in the documents. Some of them are things that are like loose ends. Yes, a lot of it's morbid and horrific. And no, I don't like horrific things, but I've always liked true crime stories. So, I mean, it is what it is. So the only thing I could think of is if Chris is making all this up, if this is all what he exactly said. I know some things have leaked already on the Dr. Phil show, but if this is what he exactly said, then is he trying to get something while he's in prison? Is he trying to cover up for people? I mean, I don't know. Something seems a little weird and a little off with all that. To me it does, because I've always thought that the girls were dead. Yes, I know that the Armchair Detective did videos on the shadows, and I always kind of thought I saw another person there, but the shadows, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes because of like the way light can make things look. The way that video has really never been all the way clear to me for some reason, especially when people keep recording it and it just gets, I don't know, just doesn't look as right. Maybe you're seeing something that you want to see. Maybe it's actually other shadows looking like something because it's the body's being put in. I don't know. That's just weird too. And then the autopsies rule it out. The full facts do not fit with the overall mindset of the crime, it seems. The autopsies rule it out and the full facts do not fit with the overall mindset of the crime. It does seem like that. I, like many others, think he and the mistress need to be hooked up to lie detector tests. Because just letting her go with giggling and running the show and not lie detector test, no, it's not because she had an affair. It's because she was there towards the last few days of all this happening. She was there a lot when Shanann was gone. She looked up Shanann in 2017 and then on in May 2018 and another time. Which leads me to this one thing. Why did the mistress look up Ronnie Watts, his address in North Carolina, and Shanann and Chris Watts' address on Saratoga in Colorado? Well, I looked up the driving distance from North Carolina to Colorado is 1,643 miles. it takes 24 hours and 35 minutes. I did not get a speed, and of course if you're going faster or slower, it'll be a little less or more time. I wonder if that's what happened on August 12th. That Ronnie actually arrived that morning. And maybe Chris was making the chicken for Ronnie and him? I don't know. People talking about a mysterious vehicle never actually described, but one of them is definitely, well, there was two. Even there was three because one's a neighbor, but then there's these other two, and one's been described as the mistress's gray truck. The other one, everyone's not sure. So that, because some people think that he got there fast, and he seemed to like already know about a lot of things, and he says he believes in his heart that Chris didn't do this. He knows he didn't do this. And I just believe that my instinct and thoughts and some other people's are that I'm not buying this story. I still believe this was premeditated and plotted. I believe the babies were gone before she got home, because then it would be easier to ambush her as she thought they were sleeping. If she even checked on them, because they said they were light sleepers. She might have been just waiting in the morning because she saw the monitors and trusted that, as she had before. We don't actually exactly know, do we? I already talked about the deep freezer. I don't know what my dog's... Karma! Go lay down. Calm down and go lay down. Anyway. And maybe did he have a car rented in someone else's name? Like perhaps that guy Jim? Or I don't know, just someone we don't even know about. I don't know. There's so many possibilities with this case. And the more you learn, it just theories and possibilities get even more. So, is Chris Watts being manipulative? Does he want people to think he killed his wife in anger? Not the cold-blooded, premeditated killer that he is. Saying Shanann provoked him? Saying he will never see the kids again? That's what she told him. And then he puts them in the tanks? It sounds often tacky, still lying, still blaming Shanann for provoking him. He is covering for Nicole, mistress. He has had plenty of time to plot this. Plenty of time. Is he lying or being advised, coached, or trying to portray his second-degree murder committed during the heat of passion, as opposed to first-degree murder? He can't appeal, however. Could he be maneuvering for effective counsel? Would this be appealable under his plea agreement? And that was in a comment, part of that I have read. So I'm wondering the same thing. And then the one thing said that they thought that she was killed at 3 a.m. Well, she got home around 1:43 a.m. or so, or something around there. Maybe then she changed, didn't go look at the girls because she saw them in the monitor as she was coming in the door. They were light sleepers. They had to get up in the morning early because she had a doctor's appointment, and it was already early morning. And he had to get up early in the morning to work. Did she order that hair dye, or was that pre-automated? And then he got her after she went to bed after that because she was just exhausted, and ambushed her with a sheet or something, like it's been said. That's all questionable. I read that one. Like I and a lot of others believe, he will later come back and tell that the mistress did do this or had something to do with it. He's still covering for her now. We all do not know her level of involvement, but it will all come out one day. It is not over, and it seems like it never is over, no matter what. It seems like it just keeps coming back, and that's another weird thing. Why is it so stretched out? Why is it stretched out so long? What made all this happen now? Was it because he was bored and wanted to say something to get something in prison, or was it something that they came up with evidence? Suspense is killing us all. The victim shaming. Shanann was a wonderful mother and loved her girls. I wholeheartedly believe this. The victim shaming needs to stop. I know it's not, because you people are either related to him or as sick as he is and need to be where he is, like Rebecca said. I don't remember her exact name of her channel, but I'm subscribed to that too. And usually you don't speak of your crimes in prison, like Daniel Bishop said. I mean, even though high-profile people are usually guarded, unfortunately. There's lots of lies, rumors, and gossip, and victim blaming and shaming, so you don't know which way to turn anymore. Also, lots of us think he is still not being completely truthful. It's too early. Needs more time to really tell the truth, maybe, if we'll ever get that. My instinct and thought are that I'm not buying the story, and I still believe it was premeditated. I read that. The night before Shanann was killed, Chris and NK took a ride to the old tanks at Survey 19. This is the theory. There they dug a grave for Shanann to be buried in. Notice when Chris comes home, the police does not ask him about the dirt on his shoe, because maybe of where he works, but it seems like that grave would have took some time. So that's kind of weird to me. How could he have done all that? And also seems it would have taken a while to take the girls separately up to each oil tank. It seems like it would have been easier to have two people doing that, but who knows? That's questionable. Because did they do any DNA anywhere of the actual poop and throw up? Did they do any drug tests on this mistress or Chris? Besides Chris just saying and confessing. It seems set up sometimes and as a conspiracy, but then again, I'm friends with some of the people, but recently, not before, so. Let's see something else. So I think I pretty much covered it all. I know he's destroyed a lot of people, and he's given us a lot of us nightmares, and I don't think we'll ever forget this case. And I'm not trying to monopolize off this case or monetize or whatever. I also do wine samplings, beer samplings, liquor samplings. I haven't done the beer yet, but I will be. I'm going to probably do some kombucha samplings as well. And then I like to do some cooking, but I don't know when I'm going to get into that. And then I like to talk about whatever is my prerogative. I mean, it is a free world, different strokes for different folks, right? So like and subscribe, and just keep Shanann, Bella, and Cece and Nico in your prayers, and her family, Ruzek's and Dieter. God bless them all. We will never forget. Believe me, yesterday I was very upset. Like I said, I had nightmares, and I broke down in tears. I mean, God bless them. May they rest in peace. May they have justice.